Hey guys, it's Gomma here with another battle report. Got some Legions of Chaos action in on the weekend. This guy's fairly new player to fantasy. Yeah, big gamer though in other systems, 40k stuff like that. Got a great setup at his house. It's basically a man. I wouldn't even call it a man cave. It's like a man house. It's yeah, pretty large, sort of separate granny flat type thing set up. It's awesome. But yeah, his game group's getting a little bit more into fantasy, and we found out he lives about 2 minutes drive down the road. So hopefully, yeah, a lot more games to come with these guys. Anyway, so he's playing around with the Legions of Chaos rules because he's got a bunch of demons in 40k and warriors in fantasy. Um, and so I cranked out some Empire, and yeah, we had a go. We ended up getting through four to five turns. Just it was a pretty slow game, just getting back into it for him, and first time we've played together, so we're also catching up and meeting each other. So anyway, hope you enjoyed anyway, and let's see what happens. So in terms of army lists, hopefully we get all this right. But and there goes my phone. You got Lord of Change, level 3 on metal. You got the Exalted Gift that gives him the extra dispel dice each time he dispels, or anyone dispels. Level 2 Sorcerer on Death, some Blood Letters, 2 lots of 9 Warhounds. He's got 18 Warriors, Nurgle Warriors, 18 Zench Warriors, a Burning Chariot, 3 Screamers, and 5 Zench Chaos Knights. So yeah, just a mix of demons and warriors pretty much. I, on the other hand, brought a pretty pretty nasty Empire list really. Pretty close to my standard. Archlector 4 up board. Actually tried the whatever it is, that mirrored one. Never got in combat, so it doesn't matter. On the War Altar, level 4 metal with 3 level 1s lights. 50 halberdiers with some archer detachments. 10 archers by themselves. 5 normal knights with Muso. 4 demis. Steam tank, the Hurricane, the cannon, and Hellblaster with the engineer. That's supposed to be Hellblaster plus engineer. So yeah, pretty tough. Level 4 metal and a light council. So he rolled up Spirit Leech, Doom and Darkness for his level 2 of death, and you can't really see it, but it is Searing Doom, Final Trans, and Enchanted Blades on metal. So scary for some of my guys. I rolled up virtually the same with metal, but I had level 4, so I've got Kahinas there as well. Not really going to be. Guess you could cast it the Sorcerer. Um, would be useful. Fars, Shems, and Light of Battle. Actually, yeah, got all the shocking spells. Well, mostly shocking spells on Light. I can't remember what the number 2 one there. I swapped to Shems. I can't remember what the other one was there, but yeah, I didn't get any of the really great buffs, or I didn't get a double banishment or anything. Not that I was really after double banishment with just level 1s. Fars would be useful, and Shems is always useful against demons. And I kept Light of Battle because I thought, yeah, having played sometimes with demons, it'd be nice to be able to make sure I'm not going to run away in a crucial combat. So yeah, there's the magic setups. It's a pretty busy board. It's one of those battle boards or battle mats or whatever, so 40k style one. So hopefully you can still see in the pictures. I noticed everything's quite busy. Because of my level 1s, I actually took pictures of which one was on what, just to remember which spell was with who. And deployment, I'm pretty much stuck in the middle. I was considering just castling up in the corner, but I thought let's get into some combat and see what we can do. So the demis are up on the 12-inch line. I wanted to get them into a fight, or he's going to come for me, but then I thought I'll charge or whatever. Got the artillery on the hill, the engineer in the middle. Sorry, my things will catch up eventually. Steam tank out the front as well. The little archer bunker at the back. I was going to put my wizards in there, but then I finally thought, well, he doesn't have too much range stuff, so I'll throw him in the other smaller detachment over to the right near the War Altar to give it the boosted banishment. My BSB's in the big unit of halberdiers as well as the level 4. Obviously the Hurricaneums at the back. You can see all my level 1s over there in that small archer detachment. And my Pope Mobile and the Knights over on the right. Yeah, so the plan's pretty much, I was going to move my detachment straight up and the Vanilla Knights straight up and sort of start getting in the way of things. Wanted to try to take out the demonic things, like the fast things like the Screamers, what are they called, and the Burning Chariot, stuff like that, with the banishment to try and get rid of some of the mobile stuff. And if I could get to the point where I'm just dealing with some warrior blocks and even the bloodletters, then hopefully some of my chaff can, keep them busy while I try and take them on one for one. Obviously, the steam tank, I want to get it into combat with the Nurgle warriors if I could, but we'll see. So over here, he's just got his knights out there. There is Nurgle warriors there. The level 2, you can see the black unpainted guy in there. That's his level 2 on death. Lord of Change out the back. There is Zench warriors, and yeah, his bloodletters and the Exalted Chariot and the Screamers out there. You can see the Vanguard of dogs have come up. Yeah, he gets first turn, and obviously full steam ahead. Magic, he just gets enough. It was a low magic phase, something like 4-2 or 5-2 or something like that. Goes for Searing Doom on my steam tank straight away, and I end up scrolling it. It was debatable whether or not that's a good idea, but I want my steam tank for at least my first turn to get a cannon off. I don't want it misfiring straight away, so that's what I did. And there's just a shot of his very well painted Lord of Change model coming in. So my turn 1, move the demis up. Just if I'm going to get a charge from the knights or the dogs, I want them going the other way, so that's what they're doing. Brought all the archers up. The 10 archers I couldn't get really past anything, so they're sort of in a pretty awkward position there. My usual awkwardness, can never get things where I want them. Backed the halberdiers up and left the hurricane out the back. And the knights, actually I charged the knights into the screamers. I thought, so one thing, on his, so the Realm of Chaos result for his magic phase was the one where he takes double unstable rules, results. So I thought, let's get him in there. They got charge. I've got 1 up saves. Well, 2 up saves. I think they're strength 4. Strength 6 on the charge. If I get and I brought the Potent Bill up within 6, I'm rerolling the hit. So I thought, I should be able to do some wounds. It'll get doubled, if I win the combat. So hopefully I can get rid of him in 1 turn. So that's what I did there. And I brought on my level 1s, just put them in a unit by themselves out the back there. Yeah, I had a great magic phase and didn't get anything done. So I'm obviously too greedy. So magic was 9 to 5. He let Enchanted Blade to go off. I put it on the Hellblaster because I thought, hitting on 2s would be nice. And now remember, he's got that gift thing. So he's got 5 Dispel dice, and he always gets an extra Dispel dice with the Exalted Gift. So I tried to bleed dice, but I'd made him, because he hasn't played too much, I made him aware of my banishment as well. So I ended up not having too much that I didn't throw enough. Really, I should have probably just thrown a heap of dice at banishment and just tried to take off something. But I tried to get rerolled wounds off on my knights, and yeah, I can't remember. It was something else, just a buff or something somewhere. So yeah, actually, it could have just been a few dice at Searing Doom. No, who knows? It doesn't matter. But whatever happened, he was able to throw like 1 dice plus the 3 dice and just keep dispelling when I was throwing. And then he had enough dice left that, he was able to stop banishment. So bad magic management on my part. So I used the cannon. So you can see I've gone 2 steam points in the stank. So I've just pivoted it, aimed it at the the Lord of Change, hit it, and he warded it. And then so I had to use the cannon on the hill, and I hit it, and he missed the ward this time. And actually rolled a 1 for the ward, so you get to re-roll that, but he rolled a 3. And then I hit him with 3 wounds, so he's still there. But I ended up using the engineer on the cannon because I really wanted, just didn't want to roll a misfire straight up. So now my Hellblaster is, no engineer on that. And I thought because it's already got +1 to hit, so actually, well, that's combat. So so what else happened here? Because of that, I thought he's got 2 wounds left. Do I go at it with the Hellblaster? And we went back and forth. He would have been on something like 5s to hit, 5s to wound, and I just thought, I'm going to waste it. So I threw the shot at the dogs just to get rid of them because I knew they'd be in on me. and ended up rolling a misfire. So and a misfire and a 2 and a 2. So it ended up with 2 shots. And I think I rolled a 1 to wound, so I killed 1 dog. So that Hellblaster, yeah, bad turn 1 for that. But yeah, I ended up with 3 wounds over here on the Screamers. So I lost by 3. That doubled to 6. So popped that unit. They did get one of me down though, and I didn't overrun. I restrained and just pivoted a bit. That if he comes in with a charity, he's going to end off going the other way. Was the thing, and then charges all around on his turn too. So he's come in. So the Knights made it into my demis. Sort of expected them to, but I thought hopefully I can hold up enough. The dogs come in. You can see the dogs actually come in on the flank of those archers there. And this is the bad. It didn't actually end up hurting him, because you'll see what happens. But totally forgot to tell him what we should have done is done, because we just went combat left to right. He probably should have done the dogs first, because if they should beat my archers, and then overrun. At least he gets more guys into my demis. Although maybe you wouldn't want that, because I can. The demis would do more damage against the dogs, so maybe it wouldn't have happened anyway. So the Lord of Change comes in on my Hellblaster. Yeah, close to my tank there though, so I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I thought he might fly over the back, but he went in there. Bloodletters make it into these Knights. The dogs make it into those little 5-man detachment. And this is just a picture of something. I think this, yeah, okay, so he throws Searing Doom at my steam tank. He can just see it with the Lord of Change. He can see the back of my steam tank. I throw all my dice to dispel it, and I roll that. So he gets Searing Doom off, but he rolls 2 for hits, and I think he only and then he rolled a 1 to wound. So, and I get out of it with 1 wound down, so that was not too bad. And then he throws the rest of his dice at. Actually, might not have been the rest of his dice. I think it was 3 or 4 dice at final trans, and he rolled double 6s, and well, I wasn't going to stop it anyway, and I lose 19 halberdiers, turn to gold, and I'm just remembering we didn't test for stupidity in the next turn. Oh well. Even we haven't talked about that, and we still forgot it. This was scary though. So the result. Okay, so this was the Burning Chariot unloaded with the Grape Shot one into my War Altar, and hit the majority of hit my Archlector and got through, and he's down. Actually, I can't. Yeah, he's down to 2. He's down to 1 wound. So that hurt. And over here we do. So he does 1 wound to me. I do 2 wounds back to him, but he charged. We both got flanked, so it was just a push. He said it's the first time he charged his Knights in and not run through someone, but he hasn't played too much. And I said that Demis and Monstrous Scav, they're pretty good. Problem is getting hitting back and stuff is the problem with these guys. And this was, we didn't pick this. So he came in with his dogs. He had 3 guys, I think, on my 2. They all whiffed, and then my 2 guys turned around and I hit and rolled double 6s for the wounds and killed 2 beasts. So actually ended up beating him. Is that right? Charge flank. Oh, because I got a Muser. That's what it was. Yes. So he had a charge flank. I had 2 wounds, but I've got a Muso in this unit. So I beat him on combat res, and then he rolled a 11, and he doesn't have a BSB, so they ran away. And my guys actually ran 9 to catch them, and then that was far enough to hit the Nurgle warriors. So I'm sure they didn't want to be there, but they were going to be used for chaff anyway, so that's where they've ended up. But yeah, didn't expect that. Of course, the Hellblaster dies. That triggers a panic in my engineer who runs through the cannon. Doesn't make it off the board though, and so the Lord of Change overruns into my cannon, which is a little annoying because I really wanted him to run into my engineer, and then I could shoot him with the cannon. But anyway, actually probably would have been pretty hard to shoot him there. So with bad dice rolling comes good dice rolling. This is my armor saves on my knights that are against the bloodletters. He didn't kill any, uh, crazily, but look, he's still got ranks, full command, charge, all that. I don't know if I might have done one wound to him, but yeah, still not enough, so I break. But um, he does actually try to restrain. He fails that. He has to overrun. He goes to chase me and doesn't catch me. So actually, you can see the bloodletter down near the wing of my golden griffin. That's actually where he is. We just couldn't stand him on there. So try to rush through this bit. See, this is the biggest turn. So my turn two. I load up ball steam points into the stank, don't misfire, and turn around and plough into the Lord of Change. He's actually where that frenzy marker is. Just we didn't want to put the big white metal guy up there because he would just fall off and break. And then where are we here? And then I've rallied my knights on the right. Little bit of jiggling with the light mages. I think I put just one of them, just trying to spread them out a bit. Put one of them in the unit there. And I charge my Pope-mobile into the dogs, and then I use my other archers to chaff up his Zench warriors. So the plan here is try and take out the dogs, obviously, with the charge, and use the banishment on the chariots, hopefully. And with that charge too, I've got out of the charge arc of the bloodletters. That's just a close-up of... I don't know, so magic, I don't know what it was, but I magicked off his... got enough to get banishment off and magicked off his chariot. And the combat over here, he does a bit more this time, takes out a demi, he must have done 2 wounds, and I've done 1 back. So I think I've even... Maybe I lost this again and held. Yeah, and these knights totally destroy. You can see that the Nurgle Knights have destroyed my archers. They've moved up with the overrun, and my stank did like 10 wounds to the Lord of Change, and yeah, that's enough to get through too. So there's the big swing in the game there. And the dogs get taken out with the... so what happens here, we do enough damage, obviously. There was a couple... There was 2 dogs left and 1 archer. And they broke and ran, and the archer ran him down. You can see that archer is sitting behind the other 5 archers, which ends up being really good for me. Total fluke, but good. So he's Chaos Turn 3. He charges the Nurgle warriors into the flank of my demis. So they're going to be gone, but at least I've kept them busy over there, I guess. I really need to get rid of those knights, though, with something, because they're worth as much as my steam tank, crazily. And his Zench warriors go into my archers at the top right, you can see there. My engineers rallied too, by the way. Bloodletters come in again to try and finish these knights off. That's about it there. He's really got... he only got really 1 spell he can cast as Doom and Darkness on my demis. And it's too much for the demogryphs. Yeah, these are halberd bearing Nurgle warriors. They get smashed down to probably a demi left and break and run. He just runs them down with the knights and catches them, so that's good. And then his Nurgle guys just swing around. And there's that. I don't know if that's showing a whole lot. Yeah, so this is what was good. So he obviously kills those 5 archers. Did he? I can't even remember if he tried to restrain the overrun and failed again. He may have. He was getting bad luck with that, and so he ends up having to hit my other archer, and because it's in the flank there, he's had to be pushed that way. So it saves my Pope-mobile from getting overrun and caught. So it was a total fluke having that chaff unit there, but it worked. So that was good. And in my turn 3, so I managed to get load up the steam tank again and barrel into the Nurgle warrior. So that's where I wanted him in the first place. But yeah, I expected them to get, he's going to be stuck there for a good few turns. I've moved my metal mage out on the hill so I can see those knights. So I've got a cannon and a metal mage to try and take out the remaining knights. And you can see over here we're still. He obviously didn't beat me in his last turn, so I've got 2 knights left. I think I passed my break check. That's what it was. And so they're really good, being a good harassment unit in this game. Yeah, there's that. I mean, you can see I've moved the Potenville out of the charge arc of the Tzeentch warriors, and I think you can even see the knights too. So I've got a few options to try and get rid of those guys, which I end up doing. I can't remember if it was Searing Doom or what, but I got rid of the knights. And then you can see the damage I've done with the steam tank, getting him down to, about 8 guys or something. He moves them around a little bit to get a few more attacks back. He's putting a couple of wounds on me, but not a whole lot. And then his last turn, I mean, yeah, he doesn't do a whole lot. He just tries to, I think he knocks one more wound. I think I'm down to 7 wounds. I've Searing Doomed off his knights. And then it's pretty much where it ends. So what I do in my turn 4, I've moved up my two of the white wizards and set up a double flea on those Tzeentch guys. Move my War Altar around just to start shooting at them. And unfortunately, yeah, he finally broke my other knights, so we ended up having to call it there. But what we did do is just rolled to see if his bloodletters would get into my halberdiers on a charge, which he failed. So we know that his turn 5 he wouldn't have got into combat with my halberdiers. That would have double fleed with the wizards. They probably would get away. They'd hopefully bump through my halberds, but if not, might have lost one. But I don't think even in my turn 5, I think between my turn 5 and 6, the Nurgle warriors would have been dead. But I'm not so confident that I've been able to keep both of those units from getting into my halberdiers. So, potentially what I could have done is got my heroes out of there and just charged them in and just sacrificed the unit and kept my heroes alive or something. But anyway, adding up what we got there was Empire victory still. It wasn't huge, it was probably 800 points, but turn 5 might have been more if I got the Nurgle warriors. But yeah, it was still a good game, and hopefully you got to see a little bit how they're going to work. And I said to him, look, at the end of the day, it was a pretty mine's a pretty tough list. It was so. Now that I know where he's at in terms of how many games and stuff, we'll probably have. I thought let's play through some of the Glotkin scenarios or something like that. So hopefully you'll see more of these, and hope you enjoyed this one anyway. And I'll see you next time.